Hey everybody, and welcome back. Remember, a couple of days ago, I put out a video on, the engine of the trail elbow. And you have no idea how important it is. Maybe some of you are realizing that in the backswing, but you have no idea how important it is in the downswing as well. So remember, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm and all that stuff, and it'll help the channel grow. Okay, but let's understand the engine of the trail elbow in depth in the downswing. Now, this is something that I'm personally working on all the time, because when we know that the engine of the trail elbow is taking us to get to the top, right? So when I start coming down, for me, it feels like the trail elbow is moving back down. And if you look at Mr. Hogan, it's the same thing. He'll get to the top, and then it's like this trail elbow goes. But the thing that Mr. Hogan did that nobody else since has done is this elbow stays in its orbit into impact, and then right after impact, it's vanishing and going to the lead side of the body, where everybody else, in one way or another, they get here, they may start this elbow, but then it goes like this. And see this gap that I have right here? This is now, the second this goes this way, it is now coming out of the natural orbit of the body. And some of the craziest things will actually start happening in your golf swing when you let this trail elbow start staying in its natural orbit as it comes around, right? Because now it's just going to take us up there. See, a lot of people think, which is crazy because they don't understand this, when they see Hogan in that shell lesson video, and he's like, starts with the lower body and it goes like this, and this elbow looks like it's tucking and doing this kind of stuff. But that is in absolutely no way, shape, or form what's really going on. It's not tucking, it's just staying in its natural orbit around the body. Okay, now let me show you this. This is kind of cool too. When I let this elbow work in its orbit, we've all seen those pictures where Hogan's like this. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. How is he getting there where everybody else is getting out here, and then it pulls around? Because this trail elbow is just staying in its orbit, and then it's going to pull and come up here to the top. Pretty simple. But if this trail elbow goes out, my rotation stops, the club picks up, I have to do something to manipulate my finish. But if I just let this thing stay in its natural orbit, look at the bend that I still have in my arm this way, right? So it's here, and then all of a sudden it's staying in its orbit, and it's right there, and then we'll come up and finish the shot. So when we can understand, part two of this, the engine of the elbow, this elbow cannot, I'm not saying that it's pinned against us, guys, and we're walking around like this, but it has to move in this orbit in a relationship with our spine. And when we can do this in full motion, there it comes. The elbow feels and is leading, but it's not dropping down. It's not coming over the top. It's just going to stay in its orbit. Now it's still going to stay in its orbit, and then I'll come up and go there. Pretty simple to finish the swing. But when you can start realizing this elbow, if I had like this little half circle thing, if somebody's out there that want to invent this, they'll probably make a lot of money. If you put this half circle ring where your arm could stay inside it but not connect to you, and it feels like the back of the tricep is just driving right along your rib cage, and then when you come down, it's like this. Now, some of us have seen that, I think it was that Callaway thing somebody invented a while ago, where it straps your arms in like this, and it doesn't let you do anything except for go like this. That device, maybe, but it's teaching us to do this. And when I do that, watch what happens. When I keep my elbow working in this orbit still on the lead side of my body. Watch what happens with my release. So I'm here, good, top, this way, around, here, work the orbit, release. Look at that. See how I'm looking like I'm back? And then it's like this, which is kind of, Hogan-esque 100%, because this has gone this way. Now watch what happens if I let it go out and extend on the orbit. So I get like this, and then I come up. It still looks like it's good, but everything is going over here to the right versus letting the elbow act and assist in the levering of the body, of the pelvis, of all these angles being released. And then I'll get up here really like Mr. Hogan did over here. You have to understand, this elbow has got to work around. And what's the really cool part about it? The elbow is working in its orbit. Now everything feels with the body, and even with the butt of the club, that everything is working into me. Which, when it works into me, the only thing that can go out to the ball, gravity and centrifugal force, is the club head. That's it, because the orbit is going this way. But when I let my hands go out, so now my hands are going out to the golf ball, my arm is extending out to the golf ball, the club head is extending out, I'm losing all the angular velocity that I could have. But if we let this elbow stay in its orbit, the only thing coming out to the ball is the club head, and I am leveraging the shaft when I do this. Hopefully that's going to help you guys, but the engine of the elbow, extremely important in the backswing, and it is even more important in the downswing. Hopefully this video helped. We'll look for you in the next video.